Welcome to Sunspots here on Shot TV. My name is Ryan Waters. The Okanagan Sun shutting out the West Shore Rebels this past weekend, 69-0. And we're joined by two members of the Okanagan Sun defense, defensive backs coach Chris Lamberis, defensive back Brendan Van Nistelrooy. And coach, we want to start with you. First of all, 69-0. First of all, you put up 69 points, but your defense shuts them out. How are you able to shut out a team that's been known to put up some good points?
I think going into this week, we definitely focused on our systems. We, between Coach Mollard and defense coordinator Jason Casey, we added in a lot of new run defenses, so we definitely spent all week prepping for them, for one, to stop the run game. Most importantly, though, our players stepped up to the plate, I think, this year, or this game. They across the board, D-line, linebackers, DBs, all stepped up, and everybody played without a lot of mistakes. So definitely was a mistake-free game that, definitely helped keeping them, off the scoreboard.
Speaking of mistakes, the Rebels have committed a lot of mistakes as far as turnovers. They lead the league in turnovers. Knowing that, do players go after the ball maybe a little bit more aggressively for an interception or a fumble, knowing that they have a tendency to turn the ball over?
Yes and no. I mean, obviously that's something that we want to look at, their weaknesses of having high turnovers. But I think this week we definitely challenged the players to step up and make plays and definitely get interceptions, fumbles, sacks. To be a top defense in the league, you definitely have to be thinking that every game, regardless of whether you're playing the best team or the worst team or a team that doesn't even turn over the ball. But that's something Coach Casey challenged them at the beginning of the year. Definitely one with pick sixes and getting touchdowns on the defensive side of the ball. So again, it was a great game. Our defense stepped up and everybody across the board played well and created those turnovers for us.
Guy to your right turned the ball over a couple of times, or at least jumped on a couple of balls. The fumble recovery, then two interceptions, one for a touchdown. Brendan, how are you able to have such good success?
Just like with the help of obviously my other DBs, linebackers, D-line, they were always pressuring the quarterback, so he'd have to throw up ducks, and that's kind of how I ended up getting the first one. Stephen Dogie just rushed him enough that he didn't have time and just threw it up. And yeah, just playing in the systems that the coaches set out for us, it made it a lot easier as long as we stayed with how they taught us how to cover the man or cover a zone. Just makes it a lot easier.
I want to ask you how you came to the Okanagan Sun. You're a rookie this year, coming from Lethbridge. How have you enjoyed the transition? How have you felt that you've transitioned nicely from high school to now to the junior ranks?
At first it was pretty tough just because everybody was bigger, stronger, faster. But after you get adjusted to it and you learn how to do things properly, like better coaching, obviously, that type of thing, then it makes it a lot easier. But yeah, just kind of learning little things here and there and just trying to keep up with the pace and do my best. So
how do you like playing at the Apple Bowl?
It's an amazing atmosphere, like a big step up from high school, and like so many people show up, and it's just great to play there, I guess. Yeah.
Coach, I want to again go back to the West Shore game, shutting them out. Was that the best game the defense has played this year?
For sure, statistically, absolutely, it was a good game. More importantly, like I said before, all the players stepped up and played within the systems. Very few mistakes. Obviously, having a 0 on the board, definitely that shows that it was one of our best games this year. So yeah, it was great to see all the defensive players step up and even get in a lot of second string and players that don't normally see the field, and also for them to step up, and not give up any points at the end of the game too. So strong performance across the board. Sunday
afternoon, the Kamloops Broncos coming to town. How are you preparing for the Broncos? You've seen them already this year.
For sure, just like we prep for every week, look at their strengths, look at their weaknesses. We'll tweak our defensive systems for their strengths and try and attack their weaknesses as well. Just go after them, look at film, look at their tendencies, and start over again.
Are guys motivated to play a team like the Broncos? You look at the records, you're 6-1, they're 1-6. How are the guys keeping motivated, knowing that Kamloops is coming, with all due respect to the Broncos, but they're a bit of a weaker opponent?
I would say, looking at the time of the year that we're playing, I mean, we only have 3 games left until playoffs, so regardless of record or what the outcome of the game is going to be in the standings, we have to start playing at the top of our game so that we can roll into playoffs as as the hottest team in the BCFC. So you can't take any game lightly. We got to get rid of all our mistakes and tweak everything so that by the second last game and the last game, we're ready to go in and especially face Nanaimo.
All right. It's week 8 of the BCFC this Sunday afternoon at the Apple Bowl, 2 o'clock between the Sun and the Broncos. For more information, log on to okanagansun.ca. For Sunspots here on Shot TV, I'm Ryan Waters.